My quest to find a suitable recording area in my apartment continues. Hello again, I am back with another video. This time it is the monthly update for the month of September. So in this video I'm going to go over what I read in August, what I'm reading now, and what I plan to read in the next month. So let's start things off at the beginning of last month, which seems like forever ago because my first book that I finished was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I think it was. So that was part of my Harry Potter reread, so I finished that up earlier in August. Book 7 was really good. That's maybe one of my favorites in the series. I did do a video about this, I think. I know, it's been a while since I even looked. Anyways, I did like that. So that was Harry Potter. My first one of the month. I think technically is the second. But anyways, the next one was The Gambler by Fyodor Dostoevsky. This was part of a two-story book that I had that included Notes from Underground and The Gambler. I liked Notes from Underground a lot. The Gambler wasn't as good, I didn't think. But it was still a pretty solid story. Kind of slow at times. Not that strong of a theme, or at least not as strong narratively as Notes was. But I enjoyed it well enough. Adding on to that, after that, I did check out another book of Dostoevsky, of his other short stories. So I did read that. I liked probably around half of them. White Nights was really good. I really liked that one. I also enjoyed The Dream of a Ridiculous Man. What else was there? There's some other decent ones too. I think those are my two favorite though. Let's see. After that, I did read The Alchemist by Paolo Coelho. I'd say this is a pretty average book. It's kind of a basic writing style. Some of the messages were good. Some were not strong, but I don't know. It was an okay book. I'm not going to read it again. If you want to read it, go ahead. It's not going to change your life, I don't think. So I ended up giving The Alchemist 3 stars out of 5. I didn't rate any of those other ones yet, so let's go ahead and do that. Deathly Hallows was 5 out of 5. The Gambler was 3 out of 5. White Nights, I'd say 4.5 out of 5. The Dream of a Ridiculous Man, 4.5 out of 5. All the other ones in that book, I don't remember. Yeah, so I'm not going to rate those. What else? Okay. So after The Alchemist, I went ahead and finally read Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Oh god, I have that book too. I should bring it. I'm not going to go that far. But I did read that. I've been looking forward to that for a couple months now. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love Project Hail Mary as much as seems like everyone else did. I did like it, sort of. I did like the story. And I did like the ending of the book. Some of the characters I like. Some of them didn't really do it for me. Additionally, the humor did not work for me as well as it did in The Martian. The jokes didn't really land, and the overall tone of the book was too similar to The Martian, I believe. So it kind of bothered me a little bit. So there's something just a little bit different in terms of the main character and the type of humor and stuff. Additionally, the science included in this book was a whole lot, and it was really boring. There were large stretches of this book that I didn't enjoy, but just because it was a lot of technical jargon and equations and whatever. that I couldn't care less about. So maybe Andy Weir is just not the kind of author I should be looking to read in the future. Who knows? And see why some people would like it, although I don't believe it is my favorite of the year. Yeah. So I gave that one 3.5 stars out of 5. And then the last book that I read in August was The Wind Through the Keyhole by Stephen King. This was the novella standalone spin-off thingy from The Dark Tower, colloquially called Dark Tower 4.5. It was a struggle to read. It was not the best. I didn't think it was bad necessarily. It was just very boring, very non-consequential, inconsequential. Are those words? I don't know what words are. It just didn't mean a whole lot to the story as a whole. It didn't include the characters a whole lot that we know. So it just kind of felt like it's its own thing. And as a whole, I just didn't really care about most of it. Even though some of it was well done. There are some moments that I did like. There are some parts that were interesting. Not overly interesting, but still interesting enough to keep my attention for a little while at least. But overall, not my favorite book. I can't say that I would recommend it to first-time readers of The Dark Tower, unless you're really, really interested in completing it. Then you can, but you're not going to miss literally anything by not reading it. So I gave that one 3 out of 5. And that's all that I read last month. Let's move on to what I'm reading now. What am I reading now? The first one, it's also kind of a book that I've been struggling to pay attention to, for being honest. That is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. This is an older book, obviously. I'm pretty sure you probably heard of, and you probably read in high school, but we hardly read anything classics in high school, so this is my first time. I read Tom Sawyer earlier this year, and it was okay. I enjoyed the writing style and the humor in it, but the story was kind of lackluster. And it feels like in Huck Finn, the story is, I wouldn't say it's better, it's just there's a lot more to it. There's a lot of things going on constantly. It's very fast-paced. But the writing is a bit different, and the humor is not the same. It's kind of a different tone. It's kind of a more subtle humor when there is some. But overall, just really been hard to pay attention to, I think. So there'll be times where I am invested in the chapter as it goes along, and then about 30 seconds have passed, and I'll find myself drifting off and not knowing what was going on anymore, which is hard because about 50 things will happen in one chapter in this book. Kind of a struggle to read, but we're getting there. And luckily I do have this nice edition that includes some of his handwritten notes at the end that I'm not going to look at, but they're still kind of cool. They also include some really nice illustrations about every other page or so that I really enjoy. Let's see if I can clip to one. Oh look, I did. And it's a butt, so I'm not going to show that. Yeah. Let's see if I can do this. Oh my god. Yes. So, those are cool. I like looking at those. Those are nice illustrations. Right, Sega? But overall, it's not going to be my favorite book of the year either. So, the other thing I'm reading now, physically, is Dandelion Wine by Bradbury. It's got a nice little photo on the back. I can't. With him and a little cat. So that's nice. It's kind of a semi-autobiographical little story about growing up in a small Midwestern town back in the 20s. So I haven't gotten too far into it yet. But it seems like there's going to be not much of a story. It's more a series of short chapter or stories or vignettes just about the summer of the childhood of this one boy. So I'm not sure how that's going to go yet. But it is Ray Bradbury, so it is really pleasant to read. What the hell is that? Is there a ghost in here? Yeah, I really like Ray Bradbury's writing. It's obviously very nice to read. I kind of want to read everything he's written. To date, I've only read 2 of his books, The Martian Chronicles and Fahrenheit 451. I've enjoyed both, but I haven't exactly loved either of them. So I'm hoping for one of his books to really just latch on and become my favorite. So we'll see if this becomes that or not. The only other book that I'm reading right now is on ebook, or technically it's on a web browser. It's the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. It's a fiction epistolary novel about a demon writing letters to his nephew and, giving him tips on succeeding in his line of work. I've only read a few chapters of that so far, but it's kind of interesting. I rather like it. The only C.S. Lewis book that I have read so far is Mere Christianity, and I can't remember a single word of it, so I couldn't tell you if I liked it or not. I do like Screwtape a little bit more than that, a little more than what I remember of that, though, so far. Yeah. That's basically what I'm reading. I am slowly going through Lovecraft still. I haven't read a whole lot of his short stories this month. It's like in the way background for one of those rare moments when I have my phone on a full battery and want to read something, but I don't want to read a physical book. So it doesn't happen very often. But I am going through it slowly. Anyways, I need to move on to what I am going to read in September. I'm going to do a reread once I'm done with one of my current reads of To Kill a Mockingbird. I think you all know what this book is and what it's about. I read it in junior high. I remember really liking it. I want to give it a chance again to see how it holds up. And then I do have one graphic novel that I want to get to. That is Batman: The Black Mirror. I've heard this is one of the better Batman stories. So I decided to give that a check out or whatever. So I'll be getting to that sometime soon. Beyond that, I'm not quite sure. I might get to The Hobbit finally this month. I do want to get into The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I think it's time to get started on that. Or will be time to get started on that soon. If all goes according to plan and I get all that finished this month, I might get into another Stephen King book. I'm not sure which one. You should know my top 5 ones that I want to read because I made a video about it. So it may be one of those, or maybe a different one. Kind of depends on what they have at the library at the time when I go to check it out. I think that's a good way to go about it. He's got plenty of books, so I'm not going to bother looking it up beforehand. I'll just go in there and see what I can find. And if I do manage to get all that stuff read and still have time in the month, I think I might check out Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut, or maybe On the Road by Jack Kerouac, or maybe something by John Steinbeck. I do want to read East of Eden, but I don't know if I want to read that yet. Might see what else he has on the shelf. Or I could dive into Crime and Punishment. But again, I think I still want to wait a little while before I do that. Oliver Twist I could do. I kind of want to do that one soon. Yeah. I think that's all I got planned on my motto. So anyways, that is my month and my month. That was my August and my projected September. There we go. So anyways, that's all I've got for today. If you want to subscribe, you can. If you want to add me on Goodreads, you can. If you want to buy a t-shirt from me, you can. If you want to ignore this, you can. If you want to share this video with your friends, you can. Yeah, anyways, that's all. You can all do that stuff. There are buttons down below, probably, to do all that stuff. I assume you know how to do it. But anyways, that's what I have. That's all I have for today. So thank you for watching if you made it this far. And thank you for giving me a view if you noped out after 5 seconds. I appreciate both. So anyways, have a nice day and meow. Yeah. Oh no! What'd you do? Did Sega like Project Hail Mary? Sega, what books did you read this month? And what are you reading now? And what are you going to read next month? Okay, well, don't say I didn't include you.